Alright, the trig. You got a 90-degree triangle. They give you radians. You got to change to degrees. So if you got pi over 6 times it by 180 over pi, and that'll change it to degrees. So pi divided by pi is 1. 180 divided by 6 is 30. So that really, pi over 6 is the same as 30. And that's 60. And that's one of your special triangles. So 30, 60, 90. There's the other half. So that's 1, that's 1, that's 2, that's 2. And this is 1 square root of 3. Okay, so now I'm going to erase. And they want the sine of pi over 6. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so that's 1/2. Let's do the cosine of pi over 6. That's adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's square root of 3 over 2. And then let's do tangent of pi over 6. That's opposite over adjacent. So that is 1 over square root of 3. But you can't have a square root of 3 on bottom, so you times the bottom by square root of 3 times top by square root of 3. So it is square root of 3 over 3. Okay, now these other guys, the pi over 3, those, that's this thing right here, that's 60 degrees. If you times that by 180 over pi, it's 60. So sine from 60, now you're changing positions. Opposite over hypotenuse, square root of 3 over 2. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, 1 over 2. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, square root of 3 over 1. And there you go. And which one of these is true? Alright, same thing. I'm going to change these to degrees. 7 pi over 3 times that by 180 over pi. That kills that. 180 divided by 3 is 60. And 60 times 7, that is 420 degrees. So that's 420, that's 420. Okay, now pi over 3 times 180 over pi, that kills that. 180 divided by 3, that is 60 degrees. So here we go. On my calculator, the sine and cosine of these are the same. So on my calculator, type in sine of 420, and that gives me a negative 0.826. And now I gotta type in the sine of 60, and that is not the same. So it's not a, okay, now 2 pi over 3 times that by 180 over pi. That is going to be 60. And 60 times 2, that's 120. So let's try B. Sine of 420, enter. Sine of 120, enter. Those do not match up. Well, it's not looking like it's B. Pi over 6 times by 180 over pi. That is 180 divided by 6. That's 30 degrees. So let's try that. Sine 420. Noah. Busy. And that's not matching up either. I wonder if I messed up somewhere. That would suck. 7 pi over 6 times that by 180 over pi. Pi kills pi. That is 30. 30 times 7. This is 210 degrees. Okay. Let's go sine of 420. And let's do sine of 210. Gosh dang it. Wow. My calculator is in radians, it's not in degrees. That sucks. So I gotta go back through the top. Now I changed it to degrees. So if I punch in sine of 420, I get 0.866. If I punch in sine of 60, I get 0.866. So those two are the same. Now I gotta try for cosine. Cosine 420 is 0.5. Cosine is 60. There's also 0.5. So it was the very first one was A. Those two match up. Okay, number 3. Circle has a diameter of 18 inches divided into 6 equal sectors. If you divide it into 6 equal sectors, okay, so each radius is 9 because the diameter is 18. So you need to find the perimeter of one of the sectors. One of the sectors is one of these chunks. It's like one of the slices of pizza. So it looks like an ice cream cone. That's 9. That's 9. You need to find the arc length. So we're going to use circumference. Circumference equals pi times the diameter. Circumference is all the way around the circle, so it's 18 pi. All the way around the circle is 18 pi. Hold up. So each slice, since there are 6 slices, I'm going to divide the whole thing by 6, and each slice is equal to 3 pi. So that arc is 3 pi. So the perimeter is all the way around the exterior, so it's going to be 9 plus 9 plus 3 pi is going to be 18 plus 3 pi. Number 4, unit circle. That means this, the radius is 1. That is 1. That is 1. And the angle shown is 2 pi over 3 radians. Find the length of the arc. Okay, that arc, that is the definition of a radian. Radian measures arc length when the radius is 1. So this unit circle, your angle in degrees, let's figure out what that is in degrees. If you times that by 180 over pi, 3 goes into 180, 60 times, and 60 times 2, that is 120 degrees. And the definition of a radian is the measure of the part of the circle, the arc length, when the radius is 1. So that is 2 pi over 3. On my calculator, I'm going to do 2 times pi divided by 3. And that is 2 times pi divided by 3 is 2.09 units. So we're going to go C. Number 5. The circle's got a radius of 3. Okay, now it's a bigger circle, so the radius is 3. An arc in the circle has a length of 2 pi. So let's find the circumference. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So it's going to be pi times 6. So 6 pi. All the way around the circle is 6 pi. And this is 2 pi. So that's like a third of it. So if we go 2 pi, 2 pi, 2 pi, that's 6 pi all the way around. So it is 1/3 of the circle. So what is the radian? Let's find the degrees. How many degrees is this? It's going to be 360 degrees divided by 3. And that is 120. Each of these is 120. 120, 120. Okay. Now, they want the radians. So let's change 120 degrees to radians, times it by pi over 180. Okay, 120 and 180. That is gonna divide them both by 10, so that will be 12 over 18, and divide those both by 6, and that's going to be 2 over 3. So it's 2 pi over 3, which is B. 6. Draw a single segment that will complete a central angle measuring 1 radian. Okay, 1 radian. So, in the unit circle, 2 pi is equal to 360 degrees. 1 pi equals 180 degrees. Okay, so now the tricky thing is this is 1 pi radian equals 180 degrees, or 1 times 3.14. So that's actually 3.14 radians equals 180 degrees. But I need 1 radian, and this is 3.14 radians. So if I divide this by 3.14, and I divide this by 3.14, 3.14 divided by 3.14 is exactly 1 radian. So I do 180 divided by 3.14, and that gives me 57.3 degrees. So it's going to be something like that, 57.3 degrees. Okay, number 7. Here's your markers. That guy's 180. 2 pi is 360. So it looks like that's a 90. Counting by 90, so 360. That's going to be 720. Alright, let's see what's going on. Okay, here is kind of your midline. So your amplitude, this is going up 1, 2 above to the max, and it's going 2 below to the min. So your amplitude has to be 2. So kill D. Now, the period. Let's do the period. The period is from start to finish. It's going to finish right there. So the period is 0 to 720 degrees. That means it is going to be, it's not this. We can kill B because it has no period. When you times in the parentheses, that changes your period. And to get it to start at 0 and stop at 720, it's 1/2. You take the original period. Noah, work or deal is off. Go over them again. Okay, 360. You divide it by whatever this is. So 360 divided by 1/2, and that is 720. So that's going to stretch it out. If you put a 2 there instead of 1/2, if you do 2x, that's going to be 360 divided by 2, which would be 180. So then it scrunches it up. It would start and stop at 0 and 180. So it'd be like this. Okay, so now you got to narrow down. We're going to go C because it usually starts at 0 and then goes, and they just shifted it up 2 units. They moved everything up 2, so that's the +2. Number 8. Use the diagram above to determine the cosine of pi over 3. Alright. So, cosine of pi over 3. Since this radius is 1, this This radius is 1. Pi over 3 would be this arc length right here. How much of the circle is this? You bringing that back? Thank you. Alright, so cosine pi over 3. If you want to change to degrees, times by 180 over pi. That is actually 60 degrees. So that's 60. That's 30. That's a special triangle. Here we go. That's 1, that's 1, that's 1/2, that's 1/2. This is 1/2 times the square root of 3. So from here, the cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's 1/2 over 1. So it's going to be A. Number 9, what's the sine of 5 pi over 2? Okay, 5 pi over 2 times it by 180 over pi. Pi kills pi. 180 divided by 2 is 90. 90 times 5 is 450. So, here we go. 450. You're going to spin once. That's 360. And then just 90. So you're going to go right there to 90. And it lands on the line. And if it ever lands on the line, you do it on your calculator. So on your calculator, type in sine of 450, enter. So if it lands on a line, those are the very easiest because you just do them on your calculator. And that is 1, so you're going to go B. And number 10, tangent of 5 pi over 3. 5 pi over 3 times that by 180 over pi. Pi kills pi. 3 goes to 180 60 times. 60 times 5, that is 300 degrees. So 300 is gonna be here. And to make a triangle, you go up, you make it 90. That's 60. So that's 30. So it's an equilateral. So I could go 10, 5, 5 square roots of 3, but this is negative because it's going below 0 on the y-axis. What do they want? Tangent. So here's theta. Here's where your marker from tangent is opposite. Negative 5 square roots of 3 over adjacent 5. 5 divided 5 is 1, so it's just minus square root of 3. That is your answer. And that is it.